property management fees are quietly eating your rental income every single month. And most landlords have absolutely no idea how deep that bite really goes. We're talking billions of dollars flowing out of investor pockets annually. And the wild part is that most of those investors signed up for it willingly. So let's back up and talk about why the system even exists, because it didn't just appear out of nowhere. When you own a rental property, you're not just a real estate investor anymore. You're also a plumber, a therapist, a debt collector, and an HR department, all rolled into one very tired human being. Think of a property manager like a general contractor for your investment. They show up, handle the chaos, and send you a bill when it's over. That bill typically lands somewhere between 8 and 12% of your monthly rental income, which sounds small until you do the math on a $1,500 rent check. There was a moment, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when the passive income narrative was at its absolute peak, and every real estate guru on the internet was promising you'd be sipping drinks on a beach while your properties manage themselves. What they quietly left out was that the middleman making that beach lifestyle possible was charging you quietly, consistently, and sometimes creatively. Now the mood has shifted, and a lot of investors are waking up to spreadsheets that don't quite tell the story they were sold. The enthusiasm hasn't totally died, but the math has sobered people up faster than a cold shower in February. Psychologically, handing over control of your asset to someone else is an enormous leap of faith, and behavioral economists will tell you that loss aversion kicks in hard when you see that management fee line item month after month. But here's the flip side. The landlords who try to self-manage and burn out by month 4 aren't exactly winning either. Real estate has always moved in cycles, and the debate over self-management versus professional management is as old as the first landlord who ever got a 3 a.m. call about a broken water heater. History keeps teaching the same lesson. The investors who survive long-term are the ones who build sustainable systems, not the ones who white-knuckle every dollar. One of the biggest misconceptions floating around is that property managers are just expensive middlemen who answer emails and cash checks. But a great property manager is actually your frontline defense against vacancy, legal liability, and deferred maintenance spiraling into catastrophe. The cost of one bad eviction, mishandled lease, or ignored repair can dwarf an entire year of management fees in a heartbeat. The practical lesson history keeps handing us is this: treat the management fee as an operational cost, not a punishment, and underwrite it into your deal from day one before you ever make an offer. If the numbers don't work with the fee included, the numbers don't work, and no amount of optimism fixes a bad deal at acquisition. The real skill isn't deciding whether to hire a manager. It's sizing your portfolio and your risk tolerance so that the fee structure supports your long-term cash flow goals without forcing emotional decisions. Discipline in how you structure your operations is just as important as discipline in how you pick your properties. Here's what the community of experienced investors consistently agrees on. The landlords who retain the best tenants longest are almost always the ones with responsive, professional management, because people pay rent reliably to landlords who treat the relationship like a business. Retention is the silent profit multiplier that no spreadsheet column ever fully captures. Good management doesn't just maintain your property, it maintains the human relationship that keeps that asset performing. And that is a concept the pure number crunchers chronically undervalue. When tenants feel heard and the heat actually works, they renew, and renewals are free money compared to the cost of turnover. At the end of the day, the question isn't really, can I afford a property manager? It's, can I afford the time, stress, and operational risk of not having one? Discipline, position sizing, and consistency in how you run your portfolio will always matter more than squeezing every last percentage point in the short run. Whether you decide to self-manage or hand it off, what matters most is that you made the decision with clear eyes, real numbers, and a strategy that holds up when things get uncomfortable. And things always eventually get uncomfortable. Rational preparation beats hopeful improvisation every single time in this game. And if you're ready to take that next step, whether that's investing in your first rental, finding a contractor you can actually trust, or connecting with a lender who understands real estate, check out our links in the description below and let's get you started.